Okay, so now we're on to step 6L. So let's install the battery holder, which is the metal thing, to the outside of the control board using the number 2 screws. That's the only 2 screws that are in the kit. Make sure those wires are out of the way. And we'll use the top and bottom screw holes. If I can get my hands to work while being on the camera at the same time. It's not always the thing that's going to happen. Okay, so that screw is started. It's coming out the back side. We'll go ahead and do the other one. I'll tighten it down since we've got them both on there. It doesn't have to be real tight. It needs to be snug. Like so. Okay, and then going into step in, we're going to put the red and white wires through the one hole in the control board between the wires. So we'll take the red wire from LED 2 and make sure, I guess mine got untwisted, so make sure those are twisted. Put it through the hole in between the LEDs. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other red wire, LED 1. And I'll put it through the hole between the LEDs. Those two coming out that way. And now with the white wires. Okay, so they start out on this side, go through the hole, come out over there. Okay, and then we're going to skip step N and going down to step O. So we get our MyPlace board back over here, and we are going to tin the pads where the wires will go. Which are going to be right here and right here, the 4 bigger spots. We want to completely cover the pad with solder, and we want to use plenty of solder. So make sure it's covered up nicely. So I had the solder down there for about 3-4 seconds on each pad. And right there, and there. And they've got solder on all, covering the entire pad. Okay, and then now it's time for this again. Well, leave that like that. Now we need to tin the ends of the wires. If you have helping hands to hold the wires, that is very beneficial. Some of us don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the soldering iron on the back end of the wire and bring the solder to the wire. And that puts solder in there in between the wires. You gotta be careful not to touch anything else with the soldering iron while we're doing this. That one needs to be a little longer. So you want to make sure that that's long enough to cover, the wire's long enough to cover the pad. I'm about halfway there, so I'm going to strip off a little bit of extra wire. And do the same thing on this other one. Strip off some more wire. Put that solder to the side. Now we're going to solder the red wires to the top two pads coming in from the middle of the board. So we've already got solder on the pad, we've got solder on the wire. All we need to do is bring our soldering iron to it to liquefy everything. Hold that there for a couple seconds. And now it's on there. Same thing with the other wire. Put it there with the solder. Put our soldering iron on the top. A couple seconds. Full test. It is on there. If you need to, you can use tweezers to hold the wire down. That's probably the better way to do it. So we've got our red wires on, and now our white wires are going to go on these bottom two pads. I use these kind of curved tweezers. If I can get my fingers to work. Couple seconds, and that's on there. Now I'm going to do the last one. We'll test. Those are all connected. So now we're connected there and there. If we have any extra wire sticking off, we can clip that off of there. Okay, so now that's all connected. And then we can put in a battery or plug it in to test it. Then our last step is to put on our 3 PC board standoffs. Which are these white pieces. There should be 3 of them. So you'll pull the backing off of it. And on the board, right above the A, there's 4 little metal spots right there. And then also down here and right there. And that's where these are going to go. So just line those up on those. We can take this, the wires through, and push those holes onto those standoffs. Like so. And now it is done. Now we can take our 9-volt battery, plug it in, stick it in the holder, and move our switch to the battery. And our board works. And now you have completed the MyPlace soldering board project. Don't forget to include pictures of your progress and your assignments. If you have any questions or comments, reach out to me, let me know.